in such a case, you want such a thing to be faster, right? You want such a thing to be faster. I remember I was doing IT, and I was just new to tech. I think I was in my second year in computer science, and they gave me some Excel sheets, some crazy, long, heavy Excel sheets to sort through. And it felt like meaningless work. And I just started coding then. So what I did was I wrote, and this was just a while ago, not to talk of now that we have AI. I wrote, and thank God that our brother is here. I wrote code in a language called, I think Visual Basic or Small Basic, one of the two. And what that did was something that should have taken me 2, 3, 4 weeks to do. I just used one day to write the code, and I did everything in 5 minutes. Nobody asked me to. I just picked it up and did it myself. And I remember showing that to my boss, and they were so happy. They wanted to collect the code, and use it for themselves and apply it to other places. What I'm trying to say is that was some years ago. Let me not mention the year so you don't guess my age. That was some years ago. And imagine how productive that was. And that's just one aspect, maybe in corporate life. Not to talk of our day-to-day experiences. Nowadays, some people are just downloading apps to do things and make themselves more productive. Productivity was what she talked about. So coding is really, really important, number one, because one of the things coding does is that it brings efficiency. Just thinking about, before you start talking about having a startup of your own at your age and having businesses and building apps, there are people that just became successful by solving their own personal problems just because they knew how to code. For example, there was a man, I think in Canada or in America, he had like elderly ones in all these elderly homes. I don't think we have that here. We don't have that here. But if you watch American movies and all the other movies, I don't think it's in Korean movies, but all the other movies, you see that they put some of their old elderly ones into elderly homes. And he needed a system to manage his own grandparents. He decided to write it himself in code. He coded it himself so he could just manage things like when they would take their drugs, when they would go to the hospital, their sleep time. He just wrote it for his own people. Do you know that he ended up creating a business out of it? Just because he solved problems like that. So coding, first of all, is just one of the ways you efficiently solve problems. And there are lots of problems today. Are there not? We have plenty of problems, don't we? Hello? You don't have problems? You are problem-free? Yeah, so we have problems. It's one of the ways. So if you always have problems, coding is just very efficient, an efficient way to solve it. So we need coding now, and especially now that AI is booming. Do we agree? Some people are saying AI will take some certain jobs. Let's not have that conversation now. But the issue is, with the advent of AI, things are now easier to do. They are quicker to do. Please it's good to take advantages of these things. And it also makes coding very, very important now. Very, very important now. So even if you're not going to go into the software engineering world, just having an idea of what coding is about, what it entails, and, all the benefits that are available because of coding, it will push you out there, to push you up there from being a business owner to just being a student, right? Even in church, there are churches that are employing software developers and coders now, right? So there's really there are very few areas where coding is not really needed, right? So I think it's very, especially in the world today, world of AI today. So I think I'll just stop there. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for that. So now we know why we need coding and why we need to learn that, to get that skill, because it will save your time. Imagine having to reduce that time, that 6 hours to 5 minutes. That's very genius. Like, that's so fast. And this is why we are trying to expose our minds to what we should be learning now that would help us and prepare us for the future, right? Okay, so I'll be asking Love Covenant now, and I would want him to explain to us why videography, I would want him to explain videography to a layman. So, like, I'm a 2-year-old does not have But in today's world, well, 3-year-olds, they're all over the internet doing amazing things. So if you're a 3-year-old or 5-year-old, or as the case may be, the age that we have here, how would you explain videography to a layman? And how can one stand out in this space?
Okay. So I'm not somebody that believes in complex definitions anyway. I like to keep things as simple as possible. So videography is simply the art and craft of shooting videos. And as a result of that, a videographer is somebody that shoots videos, okay? A videographer is somebody that shoots videos. There are so many opportunities for videographers there are so many opportunities for videographers today. There's so much need for media content. There's just an ever-growing demand for videos today. So a videographer is somebody whose job is to capture that video, whether it be, weddings, whether it be church services, whether it be, events, documenting events. That is what a videographer does. Do we understand? Okay, and the second question is how to stand out as a videographer. Honestly, people reach out to you for you. That's what I'm going to say. People come to you for you. When people want a job done, you need to have one particular thing that makes you unique, one thing that leaves an impression on your clients or on your audience. So have that specific thing that they know you for. Oh, is it this person is very good at color grading? Is this person very good at... There's a particular aspect of your work that just has to stand out. That is how I would recommend that you stand out as a videographer. I hope we understand. Do we understand? Thank you.
A round of applause for that. I was going to ask, are there, just for a bit of clarity, clarity, are there particular traits that would make someone stand as a videographer? Because I know very well that, for instance, I did a job for someone and I tried to tell my own part of that story, because I know that storytelling is something that is currently making the waves of every experience. People want to document experiences, and like he said, it's not just to hold a phone, it's the art. Because I asked someone to help me make a video before I stepped in, and I almost regretted why I asked the person to make the video for me. I hope the person is not offended, but the fact is that what they captured, I cannot use it, So that means that there's a skill to that, and if you do it and do it well, then you're going to make it happen out there. So is there any particular traits, what is that particular thing? Like I was saying earlier, when the person now told the story of this particular job that I did, even me, myself, I was impressed, So aside from just carrying the video, your phone, as mobile photography has started or videography has started, what is there anything that somebody who now loves to make videos of people, if you're the person that they're always calling to come and help me make a video, help me, that means you're good at it. There's something you have there. Is there any other thing you can use to encourage that particular person to take it serious and stand out on that journey?
Okay, my response to that is that the traits that make you stand out, the traits that make you successful at videography are the exact same traits that make you successful in anything. Off the top of my head, be good at what you do. Like she said, just be good at what you do. Learn to maintain relationship with people. The people you are working for example, your clients, the people that are hiring you. Learn to do something good. Learn to have your own flair. Learn to add your own twists. And I think those are traits that you should have as a videographer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, love. Learn to have, there's something about you that will differentiate you from the next person, and you need to find yours and run with that. Thank you very much, love. So I'll be asking Collins now, and we all know he's a UI, as I just read, and UX designer. So I'm going to be asking you, what drove you to UI or UX, and what has been your driving force so far?
Can everyone hear me? So I had a flair for art, right? So growing up, I used to draw a lot. I knew I wanted to do something in that space. I didn't know what it was. When I was in school, UI as a space did not exist. So there were no UI designers to look at, right? Or there was no field that was niched down to UI. But I started doing UI. I mean, largely, a lot of this is attributed to my mentor back then, who happened to be the only person I ever worked with in Nigeria. And when I started interning with him, right, he told me, "Oh, you're good at, you use Photoshop, you use these tools. Why don't you try UI design?" And I asked him, "What's UI design?" And he's like, "Don't ask me. Go and research." And I did. And from that point on, I started to understand design a lot differently. I'll do a quick breakdown, right? A lot of us here, if I tell you this person is a graphic designer, right, and this person is a graphic artist, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between both of them. Because conventionally, it sounds like it's the same thing, right? But it's not. Art is not design, and design is not art. Sometimes you can have them, they're not mutually exclusive here, but you can have them intersect sometimes. But art is more subjective. By subjective, it means it is based on you, how you see things. You hear about great artists, you hear about Leonardo da Vinci, oh, he painted this, he painted that. Nobody really tells you this is the reason why he painted it. Nobody really cares about why he painted it. It's because he did it, right? You see a lot of artists, right, performing artists, musicians. Their songs are not, they're not singing those songs because there's a need. It's not like it's the national anthem, right? They are singing those songs out of their own internal inspiration entirely. Now, design is different. Design follows rules. Actually, when I want to explain design deeply, design is understanding and making the rules. Let's use this space that we are in, for example. There's an aisle there, right in the middle. Why do you guys think that aisle is there? Why don't we have a long row of chairs just go continuously from this end to that end without an aisle? It'll mean when he wants to leave the space, right, he has to cross everybody, and it's going to be very inconvenient. So the person who was designing this space said, hey, we need to have aisles here to make sure that it's a shortcut for you to come out here, you can also come out there. Same thing on this end, you can come out this way, you can come out that way. That is design. You are bringing in rules into a space, right, and creating something that did not exist before, putting in the parameters to say, for this to work, this has to be in place, that has to be in place, etc., etc. Now, does everyone understand what I just explained? Is it very clear, or do you need more detail? All right, so when I started doing that research, I fell in love with it. And I began to understand why they say, oh, this person does fashion design, or this person does graphic design, or user interface design, right? This person is a fashion artist. I began to understand those concepts. You see when you watch like a runway show on TV, and you see some very out of the ordinary things that nobody will wear this thing. She has mirrors. The dress is made entirely out of mirrors. In real life, that's very impractical. You are walking around with a dress made of mirrors. You'll be burning people on the streets because the sun is going to be reflecting off you, right? But you're inside a controlled room and these lights are just bouncing off. It looks very majestic. It's glittering. It's an artistic expression. It is not grounded in reality at all. It was not designed to be functional. That's where, when people do like art exhibitions, right, they are not trying to make you, or they're not trying to put something out there that entirely makes sense unless you understand the subject matter. Oh, I enjoy so and so type of painting, I enjoy so and so type of movies, right? Understanding this has been largely my driving force because it's very interesting. It feels like an endless space. It feels like somewhere that you can constantly create. You can start something off not knowing where it will end up as. You are designing a new app and someone says, oh, Yaka wants to have an app where people can sign up. And you're like, all right, sounds simple enough. But you now start having restrictions coming like, oh, how old will these people be? They'll be of so and so age. where would they be signing up on? Would it be online? We don't want to do an online experience. Or we don't want to do a mobile experience. We want to do something that they have to use a laptop. Now that's a new constraint. So whatever you are imagining has to be a desktop experience. And maybe in your mind, you're already thinking about the app, and they say, no, we don't want an app. We just want a desktop-only experience. You now have to start thinking in that direction. Design has constraints. Art is boundless. Once you understand these, you've already started on the right path of the journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Collins, for explaining in details. I mean, we can tell that he's passionate about what he does. And for the first time, I can't believe that there's a difference, honestly. I'm going to say that for those who don't have the opportunity to have this microphone, but wanted to say it. So I'm saying it on your stead for us, you know. So, were you not surprised that there's a difference between the graphic designer and the graphic artist? Were you not? Because I know now everyone that is parading, or not parading, everyone that is claiming to be a graphic designer, of course, made me feel or believe that both were same. But now you can see why this session is important so that you can understand better. So when next you want to go for that particular skill, you can look at the skill directly and know what it is you want and how to go about it. Thank you very much, Collins. Thank you for that. So I would move straight to Dami. Sorry, not Dami. I'll move straight to Mila. Awesome. Really? So I'm correct. I'll move straight to Mila. So what is AI is everywhere. Use leverage on AI. And honestly, I have a question that I will bring up much later. But I wanted to mention quickly that if you have questions from what they've said, and it's like what they said, you got it sharp, but along the line, you got stuck somewhere. You have the privilege to ask them about it. You can write it down. You can meet them during the workshop, during the breakout sessions, so that you can have your answers. Okay, so what is AI prompt engineering, and how is it different from using ChatGPT for everyday tasks? So now you know ChatGPT actually is from AI, right? It's an artificial intelligence. But how is it different? Mila, please help us.
Thank you
break
so
that
much.
down.
That's a great question. Good day, everyone. So to simply put what AI prompt engineering means, I'm just like my brother here. I don't like complicating things. It is simply asking the right questions to get the best results from generative AI. Can we all hear me? All right, cool. So let's just see AI as a super friend where we can, every one of us use AI from our day-to-day, right? Yes, so whether we realize it or not, we are all practicing something called prompt engineering, right? So prompts are those instructions we send to the chatbots, basically, when we ask them those questions. But where prompt engineering comes into place is those prompts that you are sending, those instructions are well written in such a way that the AI won't just give you just any response. It's going to give you the best result for your exact need. Because everybody just think using ChatGPT is all about just type a question and wait for an answer. But with prompt engineering, it's a step deeper. It's actually way more than that. So I personally see AI prompt engineering as a way of collaborating with AI instead of just chatting with AI. There's a difference to it. I'll give you an example. She practiced prompt engineering when she was asking him a question. She said, explain videography in layman terms, or to a 3-year-old. Because a vague question would be, what is videography? And ChatGPT will just give you a definition and might not really give you an example or something somebody that has no idea about videography will understand. But she just practiced it by asking a more structured question, giving it context. So the AI will know how best to respond to that question. So So that's basically prompt engineering. Okay, I'll be doing a lot of explaining during my workshop, but I think I'll just stop there before I go really deep into it here. Thank you so much.
If you really want to clap like you mean it. Well, we have a lot of questions. I have plenty of questions, so I think I would sneak around all the breakout sessions so that I can get answers to my questions. Because now I know that AI prompt is not the same thing with ChatGPT, and it's very important for me. So I won't be getting confused, when I'm asking questions. Because these days we ask a lot of questions to humans and technology as well. And we're going to use everything we have to get to where we want to be. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for exposing us to this conversation about technology. And with a round of applause, can we call it a wrap? Thank you very much. Thank you, Collins, Dami, Mila, and Love. Thank you very much.